following parameters. The first one, which is structure. The Indian education system is structured into 10 plus 2 plus 3, which means that there are 10 years of primary and secondary education, followed by 2 years of senior secondary education, and finally 3 years of undergraduate education. After completing undergraduate education, students can choose to pursue post-graduation education, which typically takes 1 to 2 years. In contrast, the European education system follows the Bologna process, which divides higher education into 3 cycles: bachelor's degree 3 years, master degree 2 years, and doctoral degree 3 to 4 years. The Bologna process was implemented to standardize higher education across Europe and to make it easier for students to transfer credits between universities in different countries. Now, curriculum. The Indian education system is largely based on rote learning and theoretical knowledge. There is a heavy emphasis on memorization, with students expected to learn large amounts of information by heart. While this approach can be used for certain subjects, it can also be limiting and discouraging for students who may struggle with memorization but have other skills and strengths. In contrast, the European education system focuses on the practical learning and research-based teaching methods. There is a greater emphasis on a critical thinking, problem solving, and analytical skills, with the students encouraged to question and challenge assumptions. This approach can help students develop a broader and more comprehensive understanding of a subject, as well as prepare them for real-world challenges. Now, third one, teaching method. In India, the focus is on a classroom teaching and lectures. Teachers are seen as authoritative figures who impart knowledge to students who are expected to listen and absorb information. Students are rarely encouraged to participate in discussion or debates, and there is a little emphasis on a group work or project. In contrast, the European education system places a greater emphasis on a discussion, debates, and group projects. However, they are seen as a facilitator who guide students in their learning journey rather than as the sole source of knowledge. Students are encouraged to participate actively in class, ask questions, and challenges assumptions. This approach can help students develop critical thinking skills, as well as learn how to collaborate and work effectively in a team. Accessibility. In India, education is largely government funded, and there are several reservations and quotas for disadvantaged communities. These policies are designed to ensure that students are from the marginalized backgrounds have access to education and opportunities that may otherwise be out of the reach. However, there are still significant challenges in the term of access and equity, and particularly in rural areas where schools may be underfunded and understaffed. In contrast, the European education system is largely privatized, and students have to pay tuition fees. While this can be a barrier for the student from the low income backgrounds, there are also several scholarship and financial aid options available to help offset costs of the education. Additionally, the privatization of the education has led to the greater diversity of the institutions and programs, which can provide students with more options and opportunities. Now, the diversity. The Indian education system is diverse, with several regional languages and culture influencing the curriculum. For example, students in the state of Tamil Nadu may learn Tamil literature and history, while the students in the state of the Punjab may learn Punjabi language and culture. This approach can help students develop a deeper understanding of their own culture and heritage, as well as they appreciate the diversity of India as a whole. In contrast, European education system is more homogeneous, with a focus on teaching in English. While there are some efforts to incorporate other language and cultures into the curriculum, the dominant language of instruction is typically English. This can be challenging for students who may not be fluent in English, as well as limit their exposure to other language and culture. And now we are going to talk about overall the both Indian education system and European education system have their strengths and weaknesses. The Indian education system places a heavy emphasis on the rote learning and theoretical knowledge, which can be limiting students who may have other skill and strengths. However, it prioritizes access and equity with the government funding and reservation and quotas for disadvantaged communities. On the other hand, European education system focuses on the practical learning and research-based teaching methods which can help students develop critical thinking, problem solving and analytical skills. However, it can also prohibitively expensive for the students from the low income backgrounds. So in terms of diversity, the Indian education system is diverse with several regional languages and cultures influencing the curriculum. The European education system, on the other hand, is more homogeneous with a focus teaching in English. Ultimately, the choice between the Indian education system and the European education system depends on the individual's goals and preferences. Some students may thrive in an environment that emphasizes memorization and theoretical knowledge, while others may prefer a more hands-on approach. Similarly, some students may value diversity and cultural heritage, while others may prioritize access to cutting-edge research and innovation. So in conclusion, while there are differences between the Indian education system and the European education system, both have their own unique strengths and weaknesses. It is up to students to evaluate their own needs and preferences and make an informed decision about which system is best suited for them. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe Geetanandan Academy.